Key insights. 1. To be a successful teammate, a member must care about how his or her contributions and attitude affect the group. 2. Successful teams don't allow negative members to hinder the group's efforts. 3. Winning teams embrace obstacles and maintain positive outlooks after experiencing defeat. 4. Positive cultures welcome constructive criticism and dissent. 5. Teams must focus on both their short-term tasks and their overall ambitions. 6. Serving a higher purpose motivates a team to put more time and energy toward achieving a goal. 7. Maintaining good communication is essential for building a positive culture. 8. Great teamwork creates a framework that future team members can replicate and improve upon. Analysis. Key Insight 1. To be a successful teammate, a member must care about how his or her contributions and attitude affect the group. Team players recognize that it doesn't matter if they excel at a given challenge if the rest of their team is struggling to keep up. They know that their teammates need their support, and that they will need support from their teammates in return during future challenges. By helping others improve their skills and showing genuine care for other group members, teammates can assist their squad and improve their own performance simultaneously. In many cases, a team member may have to work with someone that he or she doesn't care for personally. A 2018 Inc. article explains how employees and group members can overcome personality conflicts and still build strong working relationships with unlikable cohorts. Team members should remember that disagreeable coworkers present a problem they will encounter throughout their professional and personal lives, and that friction can be resolved or eased by confronting the issue rather than avoiding it. By inviting unpopular team members to group outings and company events, a group can gain more exposure to those coworkers and learn more about their personalities, hobbies, and backgrounds. Leaders and managers might also gently approach unlikable members about any habits they have that are hindering the group's success or causing distress among the majority of the team. If a new teammate has a habit of arguing or automatically disagreeing with what others say, for example, a coach might take that person aside and see if there's a different way to voice complaints. While it can be tempting to shun unpleasant teammates, learning to integrate them into the group can lead to greater team unity and can potentially smooth over bad intergroup relationships. Key Insight 2. Successful teams don't allow negative members to hinder the group's efforts. Just as positivity can spread among members of an organization, negativity can infect team members and drain their desire to succeed. Even one pessimistic teammate can act as a weight, dragging down a group's ability to accomplish goals. Negativity in a team member can be addressed by fostering a positive culture and working with the negative teammate separately. However, if a group member continues to be defeatist, he or she might need to be let go in order for the team to flourish. For some team members, especially those suffering from anxiety or depression, pessimism and negative self-talk can be difficult to overcome. In a 2016 Forbes article, self-help coach Melody J. Wilding provides alternatives to positive thinking that can be used to gradually overcome negative self-talk. Team members who suffer from self-doubt can acknowledge pessimistic thinking without affirming it. For example, if a woman chronically thinks that her actions are letting down the group, she can acknowledge that mistakes happen and she is allowed to make them occasionally. Negative self-talk can also be mitigated by aiming for incremental progress instead of perfection. If a baseball player is trying to improve his batting average, he can acknowledge that he's working to improve his performance at the plate and focus on times that he has successfully reached base. An office worker who is trying to improve her ability to help customers can pay attention to how she responds to angry callers and can recall times that she was able to resolve complaints when she encounters a consumer who can't be placated. By focusing on small successes and gradually decreasing negativity, a team member can develop confidence and skills that will help to overcome negative tendencies. Key Insight 3. Winning teams embrace obstacles and maintain positive outlooks after experiencing defeat. It's easy to stay positive at the beginning of an endeavor when the group hasn't yet had to face rejection or failure. Once a group experiences an initial setback, however, it can be tempting to give in to negativity. Teams must remember that failing is part of achieving overall success. Any professional who has mastered a given practice fails numerous times while honing his or her craft. Teams should view each failure as an opportunity to learn how they might improve and achieve future success. In an excerpt of Winning Plays, Tackling Adversity and Achieving Success in Business and in Life, published in Entrepreneur magazine, author Matt Mayberry acknowledges that it's difficult to cultivate positive emotions when a team is facing severe adversity. However, team members can do their part to address their own negative feelings and seek a positive attitude. Mayberry advises readers to write down statements daily that affirm the attitude change they are hoping to achieve. For example, if a man wants to be a kinder person who is generous with compliments and helpful to coworkers, he should write down that ambition and revisit it often. Deliberately choosing to focus on positive emotions, rather than negative ones, can help a team member reflexively feel optimistic when facing harsh circumstances and outcomes. Learning to stay positive in the face of failure can not only help a teammate weather unfavorable outcomes, but can also set an example for other members of the group. Key Insight 4. Positive cultures welcome constructive criticism and dissent. Fostering positivity among team members doesn't mean instructing the group to ignore flaws in the team's process. While team leaders should not allow aimless complaints, they should encourage members to give positive, constructive feedback when they notice areas that could be improved. Teammates should be open to hearing about how they can improve their own performances, and should be willing to hold their team accountable to the highest standards. Criticism is best provided in an empathetic and caring manner, so it can be absorbed without causing hurt feelings or creating rifts in the group. While feedback aimed at individual teammates should largely be given in private, there may be instances when a mistake was made by several members of the team. In those circumstances, it may be useful to have a group discussion about how the team can improve. In an episode of HBR IdeaCast, produced by Harvard Business Review, founders of the consulting firm Zenger-Folkman discuss their research into how best to deliver constructive criticism in group settings. Jack Zenger and Joseph Folkman explain that business leaders should consider modeling group discussions after the debriefing conversations held by members of the United States military after unsuccessful missions. During these gatherings, which are called action reviews, a team temporarily suspends rank and discusses in a neutral setting what happened during the incident under evaluation. The group talks about what they hoped would transpire, what actually occurred, and what factors might have led to the outcome. It's important during these meetings that team leaders and group members alike avoid blaming individual members for any mistakes that were made. Instead, the team must focus on how the failure can inform future action and how the group can improve its performance in the future. Facilitating a positive discussion about collective mistakes can bring a group closer together as well as prevent the recurrence of the same blunders. Key Insight 5. Teams must focus on both their short-term tasks and their overall ambitions. If a team decides on a long-term goal without devising a short-term plan that can be used to achieve that ambition, its members will soon become frustrated and abandon their mission. Likewise, if a group decides on a plan for short-term improvement without devising a long-term goal to work toward, members can lose sight of why the habits and practices they are trying to adopt are worth pursuing. To achieve a dream, a team must keep their ultimate ambition in mind, while devising approachable actions that each member can take to achieve the end goal. When a team devises an initial strategy for attaining a long-term goal, the plan doesn't have to be foolproof or involve complicated methods. In The Slight Edge, Turning Simple Disciplines into Massive Success and Happiness, author Jeff Olson explains that making a plan with the knowledge that it will likely be revised in the future can take the pressure off and make it easier to get started. Plans are more approachable when teams start with simple methods that are easy to incorporate into their schedules. A corporate team that wants to launch a new business product, for example, might start by determining what type of customer would likely buy the item or service, and then interviewing buyers who fit the decided upon criteria. A school committee that wants to create an after-school theater group might start by collecting a roster of students who are interested and developing a list of potential plays that those students could tackle. By taking small steps toward an ultimate goal, a group can revise its strategies as the members gain more skill and move closer to achieving their ambition. Being flexible and taking small, consistent actions will give the group confidence and make its members less likely to abandon the project before it's completed. Key Insight 6. Serving a higher purpose motivates a team to put more time and energy toward achieving a goal. While winning a championship or improving company profits may drive teams in the short term, it won't contribute to long-term motivation. Teams are given their biggest incentives to win when their efforts serve a larger purpose than personal or collective achievement. A team might want to achieve a world record to bring glory to their hometown, or they might want to win a game to please a child who is suffering from a terminal illness. Finding a motivator outside of awards and accolades can bring a team together and inspire its members to work harder. While it's important for a team to find a collective purpose it can serve by achieving its goals, it's also important for each team member to determine a personal purpose that can serve as a motivating factor when the group faces challenges. In a 2016 Harvard Business Review article, author Dan Pontefract argues that all employees must determine a personal or professional purpose their work can serve in order to attain lasting success. As the employees' priorities change, they should determine whether their purpose statements still serve their needs or must be revised to reflect current goals. Employees who do not have a greater sense of purpose at work are likely to feel unfulfilled or even bored. They may choose to focus solely on actions that lead to personal advancement, but do nothing to promote the company's overall mission. Worse, an employee without purpose may simply perform the bare minimum duties required to obtain a paycheck, which can lead to career stagnation. Pontefract advises employees to write down whether they were more focused on simply completing their assigned tasks, advancing their careers, or serving their greater purposes at the end of each day. If employees find that they are not focused on their greater purpose more than half the time, they may want to consider whether they would be happier and more fulfilled by either transferring to a different team within a company or by searching for new work altogether. Key Insight 7. Maintaining good communication is essential for building a positive culture. Leaders can focus on promoting positive attitudes among a team's members, but if they don't communicate with their team effectively, negativity and discord can quickly be sown among the group. Frequent and clear communication is an essential part of building trust in any organization. It helps leaders establish expectations and can keep cohesion among the team. Leaders should be as transparent as possible when communicating potential problems and obstacles to the team, and encourage team members to bring up questions and concerns as soon as possible. In On Writing Well, the classic guide to writing nonfiction, William Zinsser explains that most companies and organizations suffer from poor communication because their emails and written notices are full of convoluted technical language. Corporations are often more interested in making their statements sound smart and official than in crafting clear, direct messages. If a corporate team uses unclear writing to communicate its message, it risks alienating workers and customers alike. Confusing writing can additionally cause discontent and frustration among staff and make it harder for managers to lead teams that meet company expectations. Zinsser recommends that leaders write in the first person and use direct, conversational language that can be understood by all readers. While writing in an informal, first-person manner can seem simplistic, such messages are often harder to write than convoluted statements. Since simple messages are more effective, however, it's worth taking the time to craft notices that can be understood by everyone. Key Insight 8. Great teamwork creates a framework that future team members can replicate and improve upon. A bonded team can create a foundation that encourages new members to adapt to the optimistic, productive environment. Great teams inspire future team members to live up to the examples and expectations that have already been set, and can motivate new recruits to add their own innovations to the group's legacy. By committing daily to positive teamwork, a group creates a tradition that lasts years after their efforts have ended. Author Ben Fanning argues that legacies are not built based on what a leader or team accomplished. Instead, future coworkers and teammates remember influential leaders and groups based on the personal and professional differences they made in their colleagues' lives. For example, a manager who merely sends out a daily email with a list of tasks that need to be accomplished is unlikely to leave a lasting impact. A boss who makes her team homemade Christmas presents, however, or pays them bonuses out of her personal checking account, will be remembered long after she leaves the company. Leaders should focus on crafting relationships with their team members and provide them with encouragement when they face challenges, either in the workplace or in their lives outside the office. Good managers provide their teams with ample opportunities to develop professionally and should encourage members to take on independent projects that can still be monitored by the company's leadership. By fostering independence in staff members and building confidence in the workplace, leaders can prepare a team for a future in which they may not be at the helm, while simultaneously crafting positive memories that will remain with the staff for a lifetime. Important people. John Gordon is a motivational speaker and consultant who has authored numerous personal development books. 6 of his works, including The Power of a Positive Team, have been bestsellers.